This German factory in Zuffenhausen has been producing Porsche's world-famous cars since 1950. The manufacturing process behind these high-performance luxury cars is among the best in the world. However, in the past year, the number of Porsche cars sold decreased by almost 10%. Right now, you're watching the fully automated welding process of the 8th generation Porsche 911 car body. Despite high-tech automation, every Porsche 911 undergoes significant manual work, especially in areas like painting, interior assembly, and engine building. The assembly line uses a system called handcrafted automation, combining robots for precision with skilled workers for detail. As you can see, this stage of production is highly automated, with human workers stationed only at control desks behind computer screens. The car body is assembled in 4 major sections, starting from the bottom up. The substructure is built first. At this station, the vehicle receives its birth certificate, a transponder with a specific identification code. This contains all the details of the vehicle. In the subsequent assembly stage, the substructure receives the side walls and the roof. Now, factory workers in red company shirts are welding certain spots manually. Last year, 50,000 Porsche 911 cars were sold. In the United States, sales of the 911 increased by 20%, reaching 14,000 units. The third stage of the process chain completes the body skeleton with doors, bonnet, and tailgate. Finally, an acceptance inspection of the vehicle takes place in the finishing line. Here, for example, joints and surface quality are carefully checked by employees. Once all quality requirements have been met, the vehicle is handed over to the paint shop. In the paint shop, the bodies of the 911 precise stages. First, the body is thoroughly cleaned, degreased, and dipped in a zinc phosphate solution to ensure optimal adhesion of the corrosion protection that follows. This protection is applied through a cathodic dip coating process. Next, the seams are sealed in the PVC line. Then, 3 layers of paint are applied in sequence: filler, top coat, and the clear coat. The elastic filler safeguards the top coat from damage while enhancing its texture and shine. After this, the top coat is sprayed in the customer's chosen color. Once it dries partially, a clear coat is applied to seal and protect all the underlying paint layers. Finally, every car body undergoes a thorough inspection in the LED light tunnel. This process is supported by automatic defect detection. 2 robots scan the entire outer surface of the car using a light strip pattern over 70 seconds, capturing around 100,000 images. These images reveal even the smallest imperfections by analyzing reflections. Within 30 seconds, 5 image processing computers examine the data and generate a 3D visualization of the bodywork, highlighting the exact location and type of any defects for the workers to address promptly. The Zuffenhausen facility uses one of the most advanced paint shops in the automotive industry, combining robotics with precise manual work for perfect finishes. While robots handle most of the spraying for consistency, skilled workers still inspect and fine-tune details by hand. The paint shop is designed to minimize emissions and energy use, using water-based paints and advanced filtration systems to reduce environmental impact. The 8th generation of the Porsche 911 is currently built, with its production starting in 2019 and continuing to the present day. For the 2025 model year, this generation received significant updates, often referred to as the 99 2.2, which include revised styling, technological improvements, and the introduction of a hybrid powertrain. At this station, workers wearing white gloves walk around inspecting the quality of the paintwork. If they find any inconsistencies or defects, the source of the problem is immediately identified, and measures are taken to prevent it from happening again. Here, it is essential for these workers to have an eye for detail, with a strong emphasis on precision and careful judgment. While the body quality is being inspected, the engine is being assembled in a separate part of the factory complex. The 2025 Porsche 911 lineup introduces significant advancements in engine technology, with several models featuring the new T-hybrid powertrain. The crankshaft is forged and precision machined. The crankshaft connecting rods and pistons are dynamically balanced to minimize vibrations, crucial for both performance and durability. For twin-turbo variants, turbochargers are precision installed and integrated into the exhaust and intake systems. In hybrid models like the Carrera GTST Hybrid, an electric motor is carefully mounted into the transmission, synchronized with the internal combustion engine. Robots handle tasks like bolting, torquing, and oiling components, ensuring consistent precision. Workers perform detailed inspections and manual adjustments, especially for components requiring a delicate touch. Engines are tested for leaks, pressure integrity, and cooling efficiency. Each engine is run on a test bench to measure power output, torque, and smooth operation. Any deviations trigger quality checks. Right now, you can see that each engine passes through several different workstations, with each worker specializing in a specific task. In Porsche's Zuffenhausen factories, average salaries vary depending on the role and experience. Assembly line workers typically earn around $45,000 to $55,000 per year. Skilled technicians and specialists can make between $60,000 and $80,000 annually. Engineers and managerial staff often earn significantly more, with salaries ranging from $80,000 up to $120,000 or higher. These figures can fluctuate based on factors like seniority, specific job responsibilities, and company bonuses. Of course, many engines are produced simultaneously on this production line. At Porsche's Zuffenhausen facility, the engine production capacity is impressive. The dedicated V8 engine plant, inaugurated in 2016, employs over 1,200 specialists and can assemble up to 200 engines per day at full capacity. This translates to approximately 73,000 engines annually if operating every day. These engines power various models, including the Porsche 911, Panamera, and Cayenne. Notably, the Zuffenhausen plant also integrates the assembly of electric powertrains for the upcoming electric Macan, reflecting Porsche's commitment to electrification. Right now, you're watching how automated guided vehicles are used to transport finished engines between different workstations. These AGVs are programmed for automated transport from point A to point B. They can also avoid obstacles, and the control center always knows the exact location of each engine. However, this is a department within the Zuffenhausen factory where leather accessories and saddlery are crafted. Porsche Saddlery is responsible for creating the luxurious handcrafted leather interiors found in Porsche vehicles, particularly in high-end models like the 911, Panamera, and Cayenne. Porsche Saddlery is responsible for creating the luxurious handcrafted leather interiors found in Porsche vehicles, particularly in high-end models like the 911, Panamera, and Cayenne. These are printing template dies used for various Porsche car models. Here you can see a sort of warehouse for all the fabrics and samples for various Porsche models in one place. It is here in Germany that some of the most beautiful cars on European roads are brought to life. Much of the leather upholstery and interior trim is hand-stitched by skilled artisans. The process requires precision, patience, and expert craftsmanship to ensure the high-quality Porsche is known for. Porsche Saddlery offers a wide range of customization options. Customers can select from various leather colors, stitching patterns, and materials to personalize their vehicle's interior to a very high degree. In this part of the production process, a large percentage of the workforce is female. Women typically handle the processing of leather components and stitching, both for historical reasons and because it is practically the better choice. The factory has many areas of work that require fine craftsmanship, like saddlery, custom interiors, which are often more accessible to workers who are less physically constrained by certain tasks. Such areas tend to include a more balanced gender mix in many similar industries. Only the highest quality leathers, often sourced from European tanneries, are used. Porsche emphasizes durability, comfort, and aesthetic appeal. The production involves cutting, sewing, and fitting leather pieces for seats, door panels, dashboards, steering wheels, gear knobs, and other interior parts. While some cutting and shaping are assisted by modern machinery and lasers, the final stitching and assembly rely heavily on manual skill to achieve the perfect fit and finish. Porsche continues to innovate with materials, offering options like perforated leather for ventilation and carbon fiber, or Alcantara trims for sporty interiors. The saddlery works closely with other departments, ensuring that the interiors are perfectly integrated with the car's design, safety features, and comfort systems. Here you can see a large warehouse containing all the leathers prepared for car interiors. In this warehouse, the ideal humidity and temperature for storing leather components are carefully maintained. Most Porsche vehicles are still made in Germany, especially the high-performance and heritage models. Some SUVs, like the Cayenne and Macan, involve partial or full assembly outside Germany, particularly to serve regional markets more efficiently. Individual interior components are cut from full leather hides using a laser, a process very similar to that used in the most luxurious cars like Rolls-Royce or Bentley. You can also watch these videos here on my channel. Now that you've seen the welding shop, engine production, painting, and leather processing, I'll show you the most exciting part of the production process, the main assembly line. In this final stage of production, the doors are removed first and completed on a separate line. Meanwhile, the bodywork receives its interior, marking the point where industrial production and craftsmanship come together. These factory workers assemble the entire front dashboard. The whole process is like a giant puzzle, with the dashboard being gradually put together piece by piece. The workers follow a step-by-step checklist that they have learned in advance. Once completed, the entire dashboard is moved to the assembly line and, using a large manipulator arm, is installed into the car as a single unit. On this assembly line, the cars slowly move across the entire factory as they are gradually assembled. Each workstation has a predetermined amount of time to complete its tasks. This production line stretches over 1 mile in length. Now you can see how the famous Porsche emblem is mechanically attached to the front hood. A small metal rod or pin on the back of the emblem fits into pre-drilled holes in the hood. The badge is then secured from underneath using clips or locking nuts, and a rubber gasket may be added to protect the paint and prevent water from getting in. Now, workers use a holder from the factory ceiling to install the sunroof. They simply place it into the prepared frame on the body, and it is secured using a special strong adhesive. Now that all the windows have been installed, the body can be transported to the next workstation along the main assembly line using an automated system of conveyors, lifts, and tracks. Here, the headlights are installed, followed by the routing of their wiring through the body into the prepared cable harnesses, which are then connected to the engine. At this stage, the powertrains are assembled into complete engine units and then sent to the main assembly line to be joined with the body. This step is absolutely crucial in the assembly of every vehicle. Many 911s exceed 200,000 miles with proper maintenance. Due to reliability and desirability, 911s hold their value exceptionally well. While the car is reliable, maintenance costs can be higher than average cars due to specialized parts and labor. The Porsche 911 is consistently the brand's most popular and iconic model. It accounts for a significant portion of Porsche's global sales, often representing 30 to 40% of total production in recent years. Porsche 911 has retained its classic silhouette for over 60 years, while evolving aerodynamically and technologically. Turbocharged and hybrid models push 0 to 60 miles per hour, times to under 3 seconds in certain trims. Once the interior is installed, the finished vehicle changes its mode of transport. Instead of the lifting table used up to this point, a rotating hanger is employed to fit the brakes and fuel tank, allowing for ergonomic working conditions. Next, on the exterior line, the vehicle returns to a lifting table, whose height adjustability also ensures ergonomic operation. Then comes the pivotal moment in assembly, the marriage, where the fully automated process joins the body with the completed powertrain. After the engine wiring is completed, final tasks, such as filling the vehicle with fuel, brake fluid, coolant, and windscreen washer, are carried out on the final assembly line. The wheels are also fitted at this stage. Workers usually operate in coordinated teams, typically in pairs. Each person works on one side of the vehicle, collaborating closely in sync. The process you are currently watching is the assembly of the front bumper, followed by the installation of the retractable roof. As you can see right now, the massive rear section of the car is simply clipped and screwed into place. Workers wear protective gloves to prevent smudging the vehicle. The 2025 Porsche 911 comes with different wheel sizes and designs depending on the model. The Carrera GTS has 20-inch by 8.5-inch wheels at the front and 21-inch by 11.5-inch wheels at the rear. The 2025 Porsche 911 Carrera GTS has a manufacturer's suggested retail price starting at $164,900. Now, the worker refits all the doors that were removed at the beginning of the main assembly line. The final assembly cycles include commissioning, testing, and a thorough inspection of the vehicle. Following a test drive, the car undergoes final acceptance before leaving production. An important quality assurance step is the audit, in which selected vehicles from all model variants are subjected to a comprehensive inspection. Vehicles from the Porsche plant in Zuffenhausen are then delivered worldwide, with around 75% transported by environmentally friendly rail powered entirely by green electricity. But now, let's go back a few years to the interior trim of the 7th generation Porsche 911 Turbo S. The standard 2017 Porsche 911 Turbo S, part of the 991 1.2 generation, was a regular production model, and many thousands of units were produced globally. But right now, you're watching the production of the Porsche 911 Turbo S Exclusive Series. Built by Porsche exclusive manufacturer, limited to 500 cars. It has a 3.8-liter twin-turbo engine, tuned to produce 607 horsepower. The car features unique carbon fiber parts, including the roof and hood. It comes in a special golden yellow metallic paint, among other color options. The wheels, interior trim, and embroidery are all exclusive to this model. It was built by Porsche exclusive manufacturer. Buyers could also choose an optional matching chronograph watch and a custom luggage set. Porsche's exclusive manufacturer handles bespoke configurations, limited editions, etc. For example, the 911 Turbo S Exclusive Series 500 units had many hours of hand craftsmanship. Carbon surfaces treated by hand, extra detail in finishing. Porsche's main factory is in Zuffenhausen, a district of Stuttgart, Germany. This is where the iconic Porsche 911, as well as the 718 Boxster and Cayman models, are built. The factory also houses Porsche's engine production and the exclusive manufacturer department, which handles custom and limited edition models. Another major production site is in Leipzig, Germany. This factory produces the Macan and Panamera. It is known for its modern and flexible production systems, and it also features its own on-site test track and off-road course. Porsche's Research and Development Center is located in Weissach, Germany. Although it is not a manufacturing plant, it plays a key role in vehicle design, engineering, motorsport development, and prototype testing. For the Porsche Cayenne, the body is manufactured in Bratislava, Slovakia, at a Volkswagen Group plant. The partially assembled bodies are then transported to Leipzig for final assembly. In the past, Porsche has also used a facility in Osnabrück, Germany for contract manufacturing when extra production capacity was needed. Outside of Europe, Porsche opened its first assembly plant in Kulai, Malaysia in 2022. This plant assembles Cayenne models specifically for the Malaysian market. Additionally, Porsche is developing a research and development center in Shanghai, China, to support the growing Chinese market, although it is not intended for full vehicle production. Porsche has about 42,600 employees in Germany as of December 31st, 2024, including both full-time and part-time staff. At the Stuttgart Zuffenhausen site, there are over 7,800 employees working today. At the Leipzig factory, there are around 4,300 employees producing Panamera and Macan models. Porsche also employs more than 30,000 people company-wide as of mid-2018. At that time, Zuffenhausen accounted for roughly one-third of that workforce. Due to challenging market conditions, Porsche plans to cut about 1,900 jobs by 2029 at its main German sites in Stuttgart, Zuffenhausen, and Weissach. Porsche is among the most profitable automobile brands in Europe. Its operating margin is very strong, around 18% in recent years, making it second only to Ferrari among large OEMs in profitability. Originally, Porsche was an independent sports car manufacturer, founded in 1931 by Ferdinand Porsche. Over the decades, Porsche became known for its iconic models like the 911. Today, Porsche is a wholly owned subsidiary of Volkswagen, meaning Volkswagen owns Porsche as one of its premium brands alongside Audi, Bentley, Lamborghini, and others. Volkswagen Group manages multiple brands, and Porsche operates somewhat independently but benefits from Volkswagen Group's scale, technology, and resources. For example, Porsche shares platforms, engines, and technology with other Volkswagen Group brands, such as Audi. Porsche's revenue contribution to the Volkswagen Group is significant. While Volkswagen Group has many brands, Porsche's share of revenue puts it behind only major volume brands like Volkswagen and Audi within the group. Porsche also has strong and fairly balanced sales across regions. For example, in 2024, despite a drop in China, the company achieved growth in Europe, Germany itself, North America, and emerging markets. In Europe, excluding Germany, Porsche delivered about 75,900 cars in 2024, which was an increase of 8% over previous year. In Germany itself, deliveries rose 11%. Porsche also overtook Volkswagen in market valuation in 2022. At that point, it became Europe's most valuable automaker, exceeding Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and others. Porsche is selling more electrified vehicles. In 2024, some 27% of Porsche's delivered vehicles were electrified. Share of fully electric is smaller but growing. Although Porsche is very strong, it is not the biggest in sheer number of cars sold. Brands like BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, and Stellantis sell many more units, especially in the non-luxury segment. Porsche is in the premium performance niche. Now you can watch how the polishing of the golden hood of the first Porsche 911 Turbo S Exclusive Series took place. In terms of average profit per vehicle, Porsche is very high. For instance, one source lists Porsche's average net profit per vehicle as over $19,800 in a recent year, far above many competitors in Europe. Profitability in China has declined for many European luxury car makers, including Porsche. The drop in Chinese demand is hurting margins. Porsche's U.S. sales have been significantly impacted by the 25% import tariffs imposed by the Trump administration in April of 2025. These tariffs have led to increased vehicle prices and reduced demand, particularly for models like the Taycan and Macan, which are fully imported and thus more susceptible to tariff-induced price hikes. In the first quarter of 2025, Porsche's global deliveries declined by 8%, totaling 71,400 units. While North American deliveries increased by 37% to 20,700 units, this surge was insufficient to offset declines in other key markets. Notably, deliveries fell by 42% in China and 10% across the rest of Europe. The downturn is attributed to broader market uncertainty fueled by the U.S. trade policies, including the newly enforced 25% tariff on car imports. Financially, Porsche has adjusted its 2025 outlook in response to the tariffs. The company now anticipates sales revenue to range from about $40.7 billion to $41.8 billion, down from the previously projected $42.9 billion to $44.0 billion. The expected return on sales has been adjusted to 6.5% to 8.5%, a decrease from the earlier estimate of 10% to 12%. Porsche's customer satisfaction with car repair services is generally high, especially in the United States. Last year's study, Porsche also led the premium car segment with a score of 902, surpassing brands like Infiniti and Lexus. This consistent performance underscores Porsche's commitment to customer service excellence. However, some customers have reported negative experiences. For instance, a Reddit user described being overcharged for services not agreed upon and having their car returned without completing a mandatory MOT test at Porsche West London. Another customer expressed concerns about potential use of aftermarket parts during a brake replacement at a Porsche dealership. While specific details about Porsche's in-house leather manufacturing processes are proprietary, the company ensures that its leather suppliers adhere to strict quality and sustainability criteria. The leather used in Porsche vehicles undergoes a meticulous selection process, focusing on factors such as texture, durability, and aesthetic appeal. Once selected, the leather is treated and processed to meet the high standards expected in Porsche's interiors. Leather is a hallmark of Porsche's interior design, contributing to the luxurious feel of their vehicles. The application of leather extends to various components, including seats, steering wheels, and dashboard elements. Porsche offers a range of leather options, including different grades and finishes, allowing customers to personalize their vehicles to their preferences. Porsche's dedication to quality is evident in its approach to leather sourcing and manufacturing. By partnering with LWG and enforcing strict supplier requirements, Porsche ensures that the leather used in its vehicles meets both aesthetic and ethical standards. This commitment reflects the brand's broader efforts to integrate sustainability into its production processes without compromising on the luxury and performance that Porsche is renowned for. While some stitching is done by automated sewing machines to maintain consistency, many complex seams, like those on seats, steering wheels, or door panels, are sewn by hand. This hand stitching allows for detailed work such as decorative contrast stitching, intricate patterns, and embroidery. For durability, critical areas often receive double stitching or reinforced seams. This ensures that the upholstery withstands wear and tear while maintaining its elegant appearance. Porsche offers a range of customization options, including special stitching colors, personalized embroidery like initials, and unique patterns, all crafted meticulously by trained artisans. After sewing, every piece undergoes rigorous inspection to check seam strength, stitch alignment, and overall finish. Any imperfection is addressed before the piece is integrated into the car interior. Now you are watching the production and processing of seats for the Porsche 911 Turbo S Exclusive Series. The seats of the Porsche 911 Turbo S are made to offer luxury, comfort, and performance. They use high-quality materials like premium leather, which comes from carefully chosen hides that are tanned and treated to be durable, soft, and look elegant. Skilled artisans sew together the leather pieces, often using hand-stitch techniques for key areas to create durable, precise seams. Porsche uses special stitching patterns, sometimes with contrasting thread colors or decorative embroidery, especially for the exclusive or sport versions like the Turbo S. The foam padding is attached to the frame, and the upholstered leather covers are stretched and fixed over the foam and frame with precision fasteners and adhesives. The seats include built-in features such as heating, ventilation, massage functions, and multiple electric adjustments, height, tilt, lumbar support, side bolsters. These components are carefully integrated and tested. The Porsche crest has been used since 1952. The design was by Franz Xaver Reimspiess with help refining by others at Porsche. Daimler, a traditional metal badge and emblem manufacturer in Lüdenscheid, Germany, has been making badges like the Porsche crest by hand, metalworking, enamel, plating since early years. They combine traditional craftsmanship, metal stamping, engraving, enamel with modern finishing techniques. The process begins with design and engraving of the metal blank. A punch or die cutter is made, often derived from original drawings. Engraving or embossing creates the outlines, texts, the horse, antlers, and the color partitioning in the blank. Sheet metal is cut, punched into blanks in the shape of the crest. These blanks are often pressed or stamped to get the three-dimensional relief, raised parts, and allowed to form surface texture, edges, etc. The badges undergo cleaning, sometimes immersion in cleaning solutions, possibly a second heating to reflow the enamel and remove inclusions or imperfections in the enamel. Raised metal parts are gold-plated or plated with gold color or other metal for color contrast and decorative finish. This plating must be durable, resist weather, UV, corrosion, since badges are exposed to the elements. Porsche updated the crest design, shape, color tones, detail. In 2023, including using more subtle gold, refined shapes, three-dimensional effects, like a honeycomb texture in some versions. Finally, the finished badges are shipped or delivered to assembly lines. On production vehicles, the badge is mounted on the bonnet during final assembly after painting and finishing of body, as part of the trim exterior components. The main Porsche assembly line for the 911 and Taycan is in Zuffenhausen near Stuttgart, Germany.
Ja.
The Panamera and Macken are produced in Leipzig. These factories are ultra-modern, combining traditional craftsmanship with cutting-edge automation. Porsche uses a just-in-time and just-in-sequence system. Parts arrive at the assembly line exactly when they are needed and in the exact order of vehicle assembly. This reduces storage space and waste, increasing efficiency. Porsche maintains a high level of manual craftsmanship compared to many other car brands. Workers perform delicate tasks such as installing interior trim, aligning panels, and connecting wiring and electronics. At the same time, robots are used to handle repetitive or heavy tasks, like installing the windshield and mounting the wheels. Over 90% of Porsche cars are built to custom orders. The assembly line is highly flexible to allow for unique paint colors, custom interior trims, and optional features such as a sport exhaust or ceramic brakes. Each car on the line is different, and workers follow detailed digital instructions for every individual vehicle. At every stage of assembly, quality checks are built in. The fitment of panels is checked using lasers, torque wrenches are calibrated and monitored digitally, and workers perform visual and functional checks after key steps. After the car is fully assembled, it goes through a shower test to check for leaks. Then, it is test-driven on a track or road to confirm proper braking and acceleration, smooth gear shifting, accurate steering response, and the correct functioning of electronic systems. Finally, cosmetic defects are inspected under bright light booths. At the Zuffenhausen plant, more than 300 Porsche 911s and Taycans can be produced each day. Each vehicle takes about 2 to 3 days to go from start to finish on the assembly line, depending on its complexity and level of customization. This is Porsche Exclusive Manufacture. It is essentially the brand's in-house customization and craftsmanship department. It's based at Porsche's main factory in Zuffenhausen, Stuttgart, right next to the production line. After a Porsche is assembled, cars destined for special customization go through additional finishing by highly skilled artisans. Leatherwork, embossing, painting, and trim installation are done largely by hand. Unlike the main line, this area works at a slower pace, focusing on unique customer wishes or limited edition cars. Customers can choose special colors, embroidery, carbon fiber, wood, or even personal initials. For example, leather is double-stitched by hand, paint is applied in custom shades, and carbon fiber is polished to a perfect gloss. This was one of the most famous projects from Porsche Exclusive Manufacture. It got a performance boost to 607 horsepower, 27 more than the standard Turbo S, with 553 pound-feet of torque. It could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.9 seconds, with a top speed of 205 miles per hour.